The Foreign Secretary, David Miliband, says he has real concerns about the credibility of the Kenyan elections after President Kibaki won a second 5-year term in office amid claims of widespread vote rigging. The result has triggered violent protests. It's thought at least 10 people have died. President Kibaki has already been sworn in, and his government has now suspended all live radio and television news reports in the country. From Nairobi, our correspondent Karen Allen reports.
Hastily sworn in for another 5 years, Kenya Kibaki, a ceremony sealing the result in law. Yet it was only an hour before that the winner was declared.
This means Honorable Kenya Kibaki is the winner. The Commission therefore declares Honorable Kenya Kibaki as the President of Kenya.
Earlier in the day, when the Election Commissioner made his first attempt to announce the result, chaos broke out. Police had to push their way through the mayhem to take him to safety. Supporters of the main presidential challenger cried foul, repeating their claims that the vote had been rigged. And this man, under pressure to take part in the alleged scam, broke his silence.
Because of shameless, blatant, open alteration of documents presented by returning officers. And I would like to say right here that my conscience will not allow me to sit and keep quiet. And I am putting my life on the line. Because what I have seen should never have happened.
Despite denials of the presidency, tensions are running so high. The security operation now notched up another gear in anticipation of trouble. And so Kenya Kibaki has secured the result he was so confident of getting, and this long-drawn-out process has cast a shadow over Kenyan democracy. Even before the announcement came, people were expressing their anger. All leaders have appealed for calm, but it's a tall order for those who fear they've been robbed of a fair result. Karen Allen, BBC News, Nairobi.
Back to Kenya for some breaking news just coming to us on the Agence France Presse news agency out of Nairobi. It reports Kenyan police as warning Raila Odinga, who was the defeated presidential candidate, that he would face arrest if he went ahead with an opposition demonstration planned for tomorrow. It is planned. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon local time, a sort of opposition swearing-in ceremony that they have planned. And if that and hundreds of thousands of people expected at it, we heard our correspondent talking about it a little earlier. If that goes ahead, the Kenyan police are warning Mr. Odinga that he faces arrest.
And we'll be discussing this development with Dr. Vincent Magombe from Africa Inform International, who'll be joining us here in the studio in just a few minutes' time. Let's get more now on those disputed Kenyan elections. Joining us in the studio is Dr. Vincent Magombe from Africa Inform International. Let's begin first with that breaking news we brought our viewers just a couple of minutes ago, Dr. Magombe. Kenyan police warning the defeated presidential candidate Raila Odinga that he will face arrest if he and his supporters go ahead with a demonstration he's called for tomorrow. Do you think they will try to gather still?
Yes, I think we're already hearing various stories from different sources in Nairobi of impending arrests. Even if they hadn't said it now, they seem to be planning to arrest opposition leaders, starting with Raila Odinga. And more fearful will be the situation where they might declare a state of emergency tomorrow to try and forestall Odinga's side trying to do anything about this.
So you anticipate more violence?
I think there is going to be violence, and the problem is that the government is now starting to be very violent itself again. So already 10 people have been killed by the police. And then we are now hearing that the opposition, I mean, I'll call it opposition, but it's the ODM, Raila Odinga and his friends, are talking about something that might be called the Orange Revolution. They are very determined not to bow down to this.
Okay, so with this violence, with a gag on the media, we're talking very dangerous times ahead for Kenya, what has been a very stable base in Africa.
I think it's very, very, very shameful that this is happening. This is what we are calling electoral engineering or doctoring of the most shameful nature. I think what the international community can't do, they can help. For example, if they withdraw support and even recognition of the new government and demand that something be done. For example, they can talk to each other and find a common way forward. So I think that there are certain things that can be done. But if they leave it to the Kenyans, we may be following a path where we hear about an orange revolution, but which will be very bloody.
Do you really think other countries are going to intervene in some way? I mean, for example, America has already congratulated Mwai Kibaki on his re-election. Obviously, Britain has expressed those serious concerns, but in essence, what can they do?
I think that shows the type of misunderstanding that usually is within international diplomacy towards Africa. We would expect the British government to do something different. They should refuse to recognize this government and keep insisting that a dialogue must be held, perhaps a reversal of the situation. Otherwise, you are leaving it to the people of Kenya. They are very divided ethnically, and what's going to come out of there is very, very ugly.
So with talk of the arrest of Mr. Odinga, do you anticipate that he will try to make some sort of legal challenge alongside this? And if that is the case, how independent is the judiciary? Can he get very far down that route?
They would be advised to take all avenues possible. For example, they should go for some legal challenges. But Odinga is right to say that you can't believe in the legal processes in Kenya. They are not independent at all. Just like the Electoral Commission is now being found to be completely biased towards Kibaki. I think what they need to do is to stand up to this. They need to try and peacefully demonstrate. They should not tell their people to kill each other because, we've seen people with machetes, we've seen people with guns and so on, and it could be a very dirty situation. Political leaders must tell their people not to be violent, but they must be ready to demonstrate. I think they should show Africa that you can stand up to wrong processes where people are just literally doctoring electoral results.
Okay, Dr. Vincent Magombe from Africa Inform International. Thank you very much.
Thank you.